Hey guys, it's Brendan Ayer. Before we get started, if you like the show, make sure you subscribe, rate it, review it. All that stuff helps. Follow us on social media, Shitbrains Show on every platform. We even got YouTube. We got a Facebook group. And if you want bonus content, go to patreon.com/shitbrainshow. And if you have questions you want answered on the podcast, hit up shitbrainshow@gmail.com. Enjoy the program.
My brain is shit, man. It's shitty. Like it doesn't function properly. It just does whatever it wants. Life's still pretty good. This is shit brains.
Dude, they love him because it's like most comedians is like you can't really do your act on morning news. Michael Winslow built for morning news.
100%.
He should quit comedy and just tour morning news.
I'm rolling.
Stephanie and Dickhead in the morning.
Keep that in. Don't edit that out.
I never do.
Welcome to Shit Brains. My name is Brendan Ayer. Joined as always by Jimmie Graham. Jimmie, what's up, man?
Booyah!
Okay, nice, good. I hope because I got things to tell you, so I'm glad.
Okay.
You started with booyah to try and lift my spirits a little bit. And in the studio, in Golden Ox studio, live, not live. I always say live. But we're coming at you live to tape from Tremont, Ohio. Producer Jeremy Demery. Joining us is Raj Suresh, comedian extraordinaire, friend of the show, good guy.
Jet
Raj,
setter,
how are you?
I'm doing good. Well, I'm doing medium. So
Well, I'm glad
here.
you're doing medium because I'm doing the worst. I
good.
said to myself, Jimmie, Raj, I almost said, fuck it, we're not doing this because I'm in the lowest I get these days with my depression. Not since my depression and anxiety has been somewhat corrected, I'm at my lowest possible point. I'm 100%. I'm just filled with horrific rage and sadness. And suicidality, I should assuage. I said that in more of a French way.
Assuage.
I should assuage. I would like to assuage some of our listeners' concerns. When I say suicidality, I have been through enough treatment and enough things that just means I'm having suicidal thoughts. That doesn't mean I'm going to kill myself. I know what to do. I know how to prevent that. It still sucks.
Yeah.
It's still
Sorry,
not,
bud.
But here's the thing. I said, I'm not fucking. I said, I got to call Raj. I got to call Jimmie. We're not doing it. And then I said, well, this is a mental health podcast. Yeah. So if I can't come in and express when I'm in the depths of my depression, because that's the difference. Yep. That's the difference between the old days and now. In the old days, I would just be home in bed. And now it's like I take the steps to get out of it, which are, for me, are doing, like I've done today, like I've done some things right. Like, I went to the gym. I deadlifted fucking heavy as shit, dude.
Yeah.
I was looking like a man. I just had a knit hat on, sweatshirt tied up tight, hoodie tucked into sweatpants. Just like a guy in prison looking to cut weight, just deadlifting heavy as shit.
Yeah.
And so that was good.
Does that help with your anger?
Yeah,
bet.
dude. I just play like fucking. I just put Eminem on repeat, and so
just lose yourself.
Fuck you,
into
mom.
it's just exactly.
Fuck you, mom,
Mosh.
bitch.
Yeah, and so I did that. I worked out. I know that helps me. I got some work done. I know that helps me. So on one end of the spectrum, I did the good things I'm supposed to do when I have these feelings, which are random. I don't know why they come, but it's been about 3 days. We're recording this on Thursday. It'll drop Tuesday, but
because you were a little fired up.
Yeah, exactly. That
too.
was the start of it. That was kind of the start of it, where I just wanted to be in bed all day, and but then I I did smash my head into a door as hard as I could. So that's a negative. You
Like
know
a
what I mean?
ram?
That's a not. Yeah. Well, no.
How'd you do it? Did you go just head down, or did you headbutt it?
I headbutted it so fucking hard that I fell down.
Is this at the start of you feeling not
No, this was something set me off. I got so what happens is when I get into these sort of my depression kind of goes hand in hand with anger and anxiety, but anger a lot of the times. And I threatened a lady from Blink Fitness in New York with a lawsuit over the phone, which. I mean, I'm not going to get a lawyer. There's no real empty threat.
No, litigate. Dude. This is a litigation podcast.
Well, I'll give you the full story leading up to the headbutting the door. As far as it's little shit when I am, and this is why they diagnosed me as bipolar type 2 because they say that, and I don't know if it's true or not. I don't really. There's a lot of argument over whether bipolar type 2 is a real thing even. But they say instead of when you're bipolar type 2, you still get the lows of regular bipolar. But instead of the manic highs, you get this extraordinary level of irritability. Which is bullshit because the regular bipolar guys, they get the lows, but then they get the I'm going to stay awake for 4 days and invent a new board game, you know? And I don't get that shit. I just get I'm going to like there was a couple of
either like I'm going to kill myself or kill somebody.
Yeah, there were a couple of fucking what do you call those like white young like hobo fellas? What are they?
Crusties?
Yeah, like gutter punks.
Crust punks?
No, like gutter punks. You know,
dudes,
like
they always have dogs. A crass tattoo.
Yeah,
under
there were
their eye.
a couple of them kind of bugging people outside of the convenience store up here, and I went in there to get an iced coffee. And I haven't been in a fight in years. And I was going, Raj, say some shit. I was going, please say some shit because I will smash this bottle of Guardian brand iced coffee on your face.
Dude, don't buy that shit.
Why, is it bad?
No, I could steal it from work.
Oh, well,
no, I'm just kidding.
I just
Fucking
needed a
idiot.
nice
just
coffee
got a job.
on it. Okay, so
Fuck
this is
those
what
kids.
happened.
You know what those crust kids called me once in LA? They're like, because I didn't give them money. They're like,
crust kids?
yeah, they're like, fucking house punk. That was my favorite insult.
Dude,
It was like
that's
bad
so
because
funny.
I lived in a house.
It's bad because you had a house.
Yeah.
You house punk.
You fucking house punk.
Dude,
It was
those
great.
guys, man, in New York.
The worst.
I always
Tompkins Square kids. Those fucking dorks.
Yeah, and like I'm sure some of them are in dire straits.
No, they're not.
But,
They're all trust
No,
fund.
but I'm saying some of them. But
Yeah.
like a lot of them, it's like, bro, you can go home, dude. Like you're not homeless if you can go home. You're just out for a while. You know what I mean? Like, and like.
You're doing the adult equivalent of like jumping on your bed and ripping your homework in half.
Also, your dog looks so well fed. You know what I mean? Like that. If this was really a problem, that dog would be skinnier. You know what I mean? Like so anyway, so here's what happens. So I find out I get a letter in the mail, and this is my own negligence. I get a letter in the mail that the fees at my Blink Fitness in New York are going up from like $9 to $13. I go, oh shit!
I've been paying.
I've been
$9.
paying $9 since I moved away from New York.
When
and
was that? Like a year or two? Or?
Yeah, a year. And that's on me. That's fine. You know, like that's
sure.
my own fault. No big deal there.
I think
But
I know
I've
where
got,
this is going.
well, yeah, of course you do, because this is what every gym in the world does. And I've got month to month at Blink. That's what I purposely did it, because I was like, I don't want any bullshit. I want the month to month so this doesn't happen. So I call up and I go, hey, what's going on? Totally forgot. Like, I moved, no big deal. I don't want any money back, like, because this is my issue, but I want to cancel my membership. And the lady goes, oh, great. There's two ways of doing that. You can
Write a letter to the senator.
yeah, exactly. They go.
Come in
she
in
goes.
person.
You can come in with two forms of mail with your new address on them to prove you've moved. And I go, well, I've moved to a different state, so that's doesn't make any sense. And then she goes, you can go on her website and upload two forms of mail with your thing on it. So I was like, hey, listen, I know you don't make the rules. I'm not going to get angry with you. But I specifically signed up on a month-to-month contract so I wouldn't run into this issue. So what I'd love to do is just cancel with you right now. And that's what I think we should do.
A normal person.
Yeah. And she just goes, well, you can't. And I go, all right. So I go, listen, I understand you just work there. And like maybe if the system won't let you do it, then you can't do it. And I'm not going to get mad at you. But you got to tell me how I'm not getting mail involved in this motherfucker. I fucking said when I signed up month to month. And she just goes, no, you need the mail. And I go, I am going to sue you and every motherfucker that works there. And I would just slam the phone down, which it's my iPhone. You don't hang it up by
right.
And I run into my kitchen and just run and headbutt the basement door as hard. And I fell on the ground in pain. And I felt like I was
did you get a concussion?
I probably, because I'm very angry. And
first and foremost, fuck you, Blink Fitness.
Well, these gyms, it's such a goddamn hustle. It's like
they do that with everything, dude. I'm trying to get coverage for my dental shit, and they're like, it's been 2 months, and like, I just got a letter today where they're like, we need a piece of dated mail. I'm like, fuck
what
off.
What do you mean? Like,
you mailed this to me.
It's also like, hey man, like Blink. Here's the thing, like you're not a good gym. You know what I mean?
You're not a good band.
You're not.
I'm surprised that it's cheaper than Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is like $9.99.
Yeah.
That's maybe a little more.
Blink is better than Planet Fitness. And like what I wanted to say was like, hey man, we did good things. You know what I mean? This was like 2 years of me actually going there. I was happy with your gym.
Sure.
And then another fucking year of me paying you not going there.
Yeah.
So let's just part ways amicably instead of you trying to fucking fuck me out. Because what they're going is they're saying, you know what? People have enough. Maybe there's enough people with enough disposable income that it's worth $9 a month to them not to do that.
It's 100% what it is.
You know what?
Yep.
And it's just like, so I finally called corporate and like just kind of was like, told them that I just headbutted the door. And I go, listen, I've been institutionalized. Like I said, and I said this. I said I was been in the psych ward for trying to kill myself. And I said if I do it again, I'm putting Blink in the letter. I did. I said all this, and they let me out.
Yeah,
they let me out.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Good on that.
So, but I'm still
You could probably get the money back that you spent over the last year too. Just appeal it through your credit card or your bank, however you're paying for it.
Yeah,
they'll refund you.
I might try and take the whole thing down. You know, I might try and fucking take Blink out of business.
Scientology,
yeah, Blink,
dude.
and you're out of business, motherfucker.
I do love that because you weaponized. Like
I weaponized
a threat.
my own mental illness.
Yeah, dude. That's why. And you went after the corporate side of it too, which I've been saying for years. Like ISIS, great camera work. If I were taking over as their producer, we're going to fucking burn a journalist in front of a Walmart logo.
They've got good dental. You should probably join.
Wait.
ISIS?
ISIS.
Wait, what do you mean? Is this pro Walmart or anti Walmart?
Just if you want to hurt America more. You just go after the corporation.
See, but this is what I think is crazy about advertising. I think that, because I think the psychology of advertising is such that, like, they don't give a fuck if the connotation is good or bad. It's just subliminal. So it's like how much you think about it. So it's
Maybe
just like,
at that
if you
level.
burned a man in front of a Walmart sign, Walmart would be like, this is going to be bad for like a month, and then it's going to be great because they're never going to forget that image.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. You do get to a certain point. But if you were to, say, cut off an infidel's head in front of a Blink Fitness sign, that might do some damage to them.
No.
Yeah, because if it's in America, then you're just killing a civilian. It's not he's not an infant. It's not like overseas.
Right.
It's just an accountant. You murdered him in front of Blink Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even.
You're just taking an innocent bystander GTA style.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so funny. Like what makes it terrorism? You know what I mean? Where it's like just because you happen to be in wherever those guys were hanging out. I think Syria at the time. If you're in Syria and the person's a reporter, it's terrorism.
Yep.
If you're in Brooklyn and the person's an accountant, you're just a fucking murderer, bro.
You're just a lunatic.
Yeah.
Subway shover kind
Yeah. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes, I like to call it, of the podcast.
Potatoes.
Raj, so you
look like a terrorist.
I have shit
I'm just
brains.
kidding.
I'm just ISIS escapee.
Did you ever get? I'm sure that happens to you. quite a bit.
Racism?
Yeah,
All the time.
I saw it at the airport with you once.
Where?
Didn't they pull you aside?
And when we were headed down to whatever,
Yeah.
St. Thomas,
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah, that was
random
pretty
searched
tight.
me.
really?
This time too, when I flew up and they stopped me and they go, "Is there anything sharp in here?"
Yeah.
I go, "No." And then the guy opens up my toiletries kit and he's like, "This is a straight razor, sir." And I was like, "Yeah, but you can't really." And I was like, "All right, I see your point.
Yeah,
that makes sense."
Yeah,
So
that's-
sometimes
Right.
they're right.
Let me ask you this. They don't give you enough details on that 9/11 because
So let's ask Raj.
No, I'm not. I don't think you'll know either. What's curious to me, I guess what it is prior to 9/11, when people took over a plane, you assumed kind of the general thing to do prior to 9/11 was you hijack a plane and you take it somewhere else rather than crash it. So because to me, it was always a little bit crazy that they did the whole thing with box cutters. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like,
that is insane.
I was always like, nobody tried a good punch to the stomach against
People
that.
are pussies. Though.
Well, but I think part of it is I think now there'd be a lot more fuck no, bro. I think back then, think about prior.
That is what he's talking about,
Yeah.
right? From a corporate perspective, airlines had never thought that this was possible.
Right.
So now they're probably telling pilots that this kind of shit happens, lock the door, everybody in there is expendable. You're landing the jet.
You're landing the plane.
Remember that dude
Yeah.
that landed the fucking aircraft in the Hudson?
Oh,
Captain
yeah, Sully.
And they went after him because they were like, well, you could have made Peterborough, it was it would have been touch and go.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have sank the jet in the Hudson.
Yeah.
And then they ran the simulation or whatever, and the test pilots landed the craft. And then he's like, all right, now put 2 test pilots in there that are unfamiliar with the situation and have them do it. And they like crashed it 19 times in a row.
Have you seen that guy that killed himself where he like worked for the airport and he stole a fucking plane and was doing like backflips and then just crash landed it? Didn't hurt anybody, but he's talking with dispatch. It's so fucking funny. I'm sure we could find a clip of it.
Now, Raj, what's your background? Are you Indian?
Yeah, I'm fully Indian.
And were you born in India?
I was born in India, but I've lived all over. So I lived in the Middle East for like 13 years, India again for like 2 years, back and then to America for the last like 14. Yeah. And like all over America. So
now, this is something that's very interesting.
Immigrant, more like.
This is something that's very interesting to me about India. Like, I had a buddy in college, real good friend, cool guy. His name was Arun, and his dad was a diplomat,
right?
And the things he would tell me about India were very interesting. Like, he would explain to me, because of his level of privilege, his dad was rich. You know what I mean? He was saying if he were to get pulled over, the cops would be lower than him. And he'd basically be able to be like, fuck off, dude. He was basically saying it's the caste system is gone, but it's still sort of there.
It's the same as it is here. It's just more evident there. So it's harder to bribe an American cop. It's not impossible, but they get paid well enough.
Right.
In India, these guys, a lot of times, the bribes exceed their salaries.
Right.
And so what he's talking about is, I might get pulled over by a cop, but my dad knows the chief of police.
Right.
It's the same thing in America, right? Like rich kids get pulled over DUI, and then they go, "Well, do you know who supports your police department? My dad owns oil. Or
So
whatever
it's less of a holdover of the caste system as it
Right.
is just societal, the
Yeah.
elite being an elite.
They're just a little more open about it.
Yeah.
the country is only 70, 80 years old.
Right.
And most of our habits in terms of scrapping for money, colorism, all of these things were not just put in place a lot of the time by the British when they lived there,
Right.
but they were reinforced, and still to some extent today. That's why you see a lot of Indians that want to like lighten their skin or stuff like that. It's very
well,
bothersome.
you watch like and it's similar, I think, and I'm no expert, but similar, I think, to a lot of sort of African American culture but like I'll watch like Bollywood shit, and it's like the biggest stars are the one who are closest to looking white.
They're always
you know
the
what I
lightest
mean?
skin,
Like
yeah.
like it's like which is kind of crazy.
It's colonial hangover, and it exists here in America, but it's less focused on color, and it's more focused on like giving the Brits a pass as a sophisticated civilization. When really, like, they owned half the globe for about 250 years.
Right.
And that was
Fuck those
the
fuckers.
pinnacle of British sophistication for a long period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a sense of like
Governor.
what?
I just think I was trying to do a British accent.
Oh, I thought you were saying like an Indian word. It sounded like
Governor?
you said kibda, and I was
Kibda.
like, is Jimmie more spiritually enlightened than I knew? Oh, you're trying to do a governor.
Governor?
Do you like, to what degree does the average? And obviously, you don't speak for
Yeah.
everyone, but to what degree? And we kind of go wherever on this
Sure.
podcast. All my notes were only start off with a suicidal rant. Do you have a sense like that? So obviously, we were a colony, different situation because we weren't colonized, but we
Sure.
we essentially came as the British and then kicked the British out. But that was 400 years.
It continues till today.
Right.
American kids will kick their parents out of whatever fucking home they move into. And
But so obviously India is a lot more recent and a lot more direct. Directly a colony of
right.
Britain. So, do you have a sense of what the average Indian person's feelings towards the British are?
Yeah, so it's becoming an increasingly more nationalistic country.
Right.
I think to a dangerous degree.
Yeah, I've been reading about that.
So
That's
multiple
like,
comedians at this point facing backlash, shows
Yeah.
getting canceled because of threats against the venue if you let this guy perform, kind of deal. So there's some suppression of speech that's a little worrying.
Yeah.
But
Dan Ninen.
but in general, I think a lot of Indians, when white people visit India, they're treated well.
Right.
That's what I've noticed.
Right.
And I'm sure there's bad actors and terrible things happen on occasion, but by and large, people are pretty accommodating. They will try to rip you off a lot of the time.
Sure. But that's, look.
That's the nature of being in power anywhere.
And also that's
Especially when it's visible.
That's the nature of
Getting rich.
that's the nature of tourism anywhere. It's
Sure.
like go to
Right.
Myrtle Beach, they're going to
Yeah, they're
fucking
gonna
try and
fleece
rip
you.
you off. They'll sell you a dead hermit crab.
So I
That's
would
fucked
say
up.
most Indians are very aware of that history.
Yeah.
They don't bring it up. I think I bring it up more than most others will.
Right.
I think it's very important to remain cognizant of
Sure.
exactly what Jimmie is talking about. Right. So India was a cash cow for the British, and it wasn't until we started hurting their wallets that they really started to try to suppress any kind of rebellious movement.
Right.
That's where the divide and conquer tactics came in, turning Hindus and Muslims against each
Right.
other, destabilize the entire region,
Right.
and now you have India and Pakistan.
Right.
So people are educated on it for sure. I don't think they harbor ill will against random British people.
Yeah.
I think most Indians have a distaste for the sort of the imperial agenda.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Like the royal family. The Kohinoor gets brought up all the time. It's the Queen's crown jewels is the biggest diamond in there, and it's stolen.
Right.
Point blank, stolen from India.
Right.
And they've got that and a bunch of other artifacts in the British Museum.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I have to fly to your country, apply for a visa to get in, pay a museum fee to go look at shit that you stole from
You
me.
took, yeah. And it's interesting because it's like, I feel like it would almost be, if they were more honest, if they were just like, no,
Yeah.
this is the fucking spoils of war.
Yeah.
Right.
We took over India for a while and stole this goddamn. If they were at least open about it, then you'd be like, all right, well, you suck, but at least you're owning up to what really happened. Like
Yeah.
instead of just being like, no, this is our dime. Like we got it as part of our empire. You know,
The
it's
problem
Or
is
you
that,
lock it
that,
in the basement like the Vatican and don't let anybody see it.
yeah, exactly.
that opens the door to us pissing on their brochure of what they stand for as a culture.
Sure, of course.
Where they go, we're sophisticated and we're nice, but we're not going to give you your shit back, but we're great.
Right.
And we speak great English, and you got to do exactly what we tell you most of the time.
Nah, fuck
That kind of
them. Their
shit.
TV shows are only 6 episodes
Look,
long.
even in America, right? Like we call ourselves the land of the free and the equal. Most people here, in my opinion, are not equal, right? And many of us, in some way, are not free. So it's difficult because I love living in America, but sometimes I feel like the brochure, the marketing that is performed on behalf of this culture around the world, and it's what draws immigrants in, is not quite true. Because once you get here, there's so many levels of paperwork and legislation. I've been in line for citizenship now. I've been in the country for 14 years. It'll be at least 10 more years before I get citizenship.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
wild.
It's different by country. So every country in the world is given like whatever, a 7, like some kind of cap, 7% or whatever. But if you're from India, China, Mexico, the Philippines, countries that over-index for how many immigrants want to be here, you have to face a nationality backlog. You basically wait behind all the other Indians that have applied before you.
Oh, that's.
So if you're
Crazy.
English, it's like 3 years.
So why do we have a quota of how many Indians we want? That's so weird. And it's also like, now I know this was obviously a different time.
Yeah.
But I also think it probably has to do with the country he came from. I think my father became a citizen in like 3 months.
Are you guys Irish?
Yeah, we're Irish. I think he became but he was young. You know,
Right.
with kids, sometimes it's easier. But I mean,
And even now, if you can prove like lineage or something, it's quicker, right?
Oh, you're first gen?
Yeah. My dad
didn't know
came.
that.
Yeah. My dad came when he was like 14.
Does he still have the voice?
No, his older brother does. He still have the voice? It's called an accent. Yeah, he has a voice. What's interesting is he doesn't. He came sort of right on the cusp of that age where you'll lose
It's
your
right in there.
accent.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
older brother still does have an accent, but my dad and his younger brother claim, my uncle Dermot, their older brother, they claim he fakes his accent.
Can they speak Gaelic or no?
They can speak a little because
fucking nothing.
it was a time when they came up. It was a time when everyone took Gaelic in school,
right.
But it wasn't. It was more like vocabulary. It wasn't like. It wasn't. There were very few fluent Gaelic speakers, and there's been a bit of a resurgence, but there's still. It's mostly like country, like what we would consider like. It's like a very country language.
Right,
Like we would consider
It's
like
rural.
maybe like Appalachian or like that. That's who in Ireland actually uses Gaelic. Like for the
Right,
most part,
right.
like they had this whole thing. I don't know, 10 years ago or so, that was like this like national pride thing where they in some fucking member of parliament like put forward this thing where every sign in the entire country had
Was
to
Gaelic.
be in English and then Gaelic under it.
What
and
an
it's
asshole.
Like, and so it was. I think it was kind of an economic stimulus of like, let's get some guys out there selling
some
new
sign
fucking
signs.
sign
But
money,
it was
dog.
like, it was so dumb. But
Yeah,
like,
that's ridiculous.
yeah, that's great. Hey, so it's interesting what you say about the miss. Sort of the marketing of America. Jeremy, can you pull up that? I think it's from Newsroom. That Jeff Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
Can you
That's,
look for the America, the best country in the world?
Yeah, it's Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin,
wrote
yeah,
that-
yeah, of course
that
he
whole
did.
thing.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, we're number 10.
Yeah.
There's only
It's
3 Aarons.
have you ever seen this, Jimmy? It kind of shows you where you're like, oh, we're not doing great.
Yeah, yeah.
It just like basically goes through like some reporter asked like why America's the number one. I don't know. If Jeremy finds it,
So yeah, she goes.
Yeah. It was
Why,
like David
why is it-
Cross's first 2 albums are basically that.
Yeah.
No, did you find it?
I mean that's
No, that's
definitely
just
not it. This is a YouTube clip.
You want to look? You want to look for Jeff Daniels?
Go to videos. Just go to videos.
Newsroom.
Yeah, videos. It'll come right up. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
there
one.
it is. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Play that. Although I don't know why.
We're the highest in infant mortality,
My
probably.
name's Steven. I'm a junior, and my question's for Will McAvoy. Do you consider yourself a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent?
I consider myself a New York Jets fan, Steve.
Sit, fast forward.
Since it's been brought up, you've almost religiously avoided
Fast forward.
Jay Leno of news anchors.
Fast
Popular
forward.
because you don't bother anyone.
An opportunity.
Fast forward.
Lewis?
Talk about fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser.
Fast forward.
It accounts for a penny. You, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old.
All right, that's
good. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, we're not doing great.
God.
You know what I love?
I
what
hate that so much.
I knew Jimmy wouldn't be mad about the stats. You'd be mad about Aaron Sorkin's writing.
Just the fucking, it's so heavy-handed and shitty. Just fucking,
But
the
it's
fucking
true.
Dumb and Dumber guy is like going up there. That fucking Lloyd Christmas telling everybody, just spouting facts way too fast.
Fiction.
Wasn't he Harry?
I don't remember. I don't fucking know.
Get it right, asshole.
Yeah, fucking fuck that video. It is sad, and I am
Funny
pretty
that's
aware of
it.
that. But
I knew that would
God,
make you
I hated
mad.
that.
I knew that would make you mad.
Actually, he's doing the fucking actually, and he's 60 years old.
Also, the woman who asked the question is like 12, you know, and he's like, "Let me set you straight." But
If you should ever find yourself in a voting booth, shut the fuck up, cunt.
But I mean, here's the
Maybe
thing.
I want to legalize it.
I do
Brother.
think. I think.
Jesus. Pour me some of that in there.
Maybe I want to legalize.
Maybe a couple of brothers want to legalize it.
Well, but it's interesting. So you
Presbyja.
have all of that, all of those,
Yeah.
negatives that he just said, or not necessarily negatives, just the fact that we're not the best, as many would claim. And then you have all these things we know about. There's massive levels of inequality across the board in the United States, and just a ton of problems. But what's interesting, and this is why, like, I'm careful to I'm careful to I will fuck with all the problems in America, and I'll shit on them, but I don't shit on America too much, because when I think about it, I don't think I would rather live anywhere else.
Where else have you lived?
Well, I haven't. That's the thing.
That is, I think, the crux of the problem for a lot of people. They
Right.
talk about this issue from one side. And when I critique America, I'm also just as vocal about the things going on in India. And the fact that I'm still here is proof of it, right? Like,
Right.
I don't hate this place. I love
Right.
it. It has its flaws, just like India does. The reason I stay invested in a process that still, I believe, is unfair with the length of time that it takes.
It's crazy. That's
25
fucking
years.
crazy.
It's pretty much the same reason I think a lot of immigrants stay. It's central heating. You know, it's clean water coming out of a faucet. Like,
Right.
those aren't things that I grew up with.
Right.
I had, like, box AC unit.
Yeah.
You have to either boil your water or filter it before you drank it. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. And so those modern
17 miles
conveniences
with your bananas on your head.
Exactly. Take a camel to school, the whole night.
Well, I think that's why I say that somewhat confidently, and it's like I haven't lived anywhere else for an extended period of time, but I've traveled, and I also I guess, like, so if I'm thinking about what is important to me, those things you just said. Also, a place where I can continue to be a comedian. Also, decent infrastructure, decent levels of like safety, which you argue that safety in America is comparable. First of all, it's different for different types of people.
Yeah.
I'm probably safer than you because you're brown.
Sure.
You're probably safer than a black guy. But there's
Yeah,
still,
it varies.
but all of us are probably safer than a dude in Yemen. You know what I mean? Like, or depending where he is. But so, like, I guess for me, the choices, like, given all those things, would be like, I don't know, Scandinavia, and I don't like those motherfuckers. So I guess I live here. You know, I guess Canada is the other option. Like, because if it weren't for the comedy thing, well, that opens up some options. Because then there's tropical places that I'd be move to like St. John or some tiny little fucking island. You know, where
that place sucks.
The food wasn't great.
The cocaine was all right.
That's crazy that they.
I didn't partake in that, but yeah.
Did you know about that?
You guys went to. I know you've been to a lot of places, surprisingly, because you seem like a guy. You seem like the kind of guy you go, "Who, Jimmie? Never been outside a 60-mile radius." But
I've been up.
But you've been around. Surprisingly, but I didn't know when you did that whole trip, you were with Raj.
Yeah, dude, that was like flight prices had crashed.
Okay.
We didn't really know what COVID was yet.
This is March,
14th. It was like right around St. Patrick's Day.
It was right when like everybody was like, oh, fuck, this shit's real.
I moved to the city March 1st. Yeah. I like paid my fucking broker fee and the first month's rent and security deposit, all that shit. And then like patient zero was like on March 9th.
Yeah.
So like the St. Patrick's rolled around and I went walking around the city because I was like, surely, like, we didn't have an idea of how bad it was. The city was dead.
Cleveland?
New York.
Oh, New York.
I moved to New York City March 1st.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
was there for 5 seconds.
I had already, I was still there.
Yeah.
Because I moved out in August of that year.
I had an apartment in Hell's Kitchen all the way from March to about July, but I only lived there for like a month. I got 3 sets in, like the first week that I was there. I did like a thing at Gristly Pear and like 2 others, and that was it. And so I was like, well, I don't know where to go next. So I looked up like online. I was like, what's a cheap flight? St. John. I haven't taken a vacation in a couple years. It was like $12 to get there.
It was at the beginning of COVID. Flights were
nuts.
Crazy.
They would just let you walk on.
I think I paid $30.
The fare was $2. The taxes were like 10 and fees or whatever. And I was like, who can I call that will hop on a fucking plane to the Caribbean island?
Yeah.
And I was like, Jimmie would do it. And sure enough,
that's so funny. There. And you know what's crazy is like you guys kind of lucked out because there are a lot of people that like went places in that window and could not come back.
We almost got
froze out.
Yeah, because they just started like locking down hotels and shit. And then Delta emails me and they're just like, one night while I'm out on the beach alone doing coke in the ocean.
In the ocean, that's risky. What'd you bring it out there with?
I was up to my knees.
It's intermission time.
Hey guys, it's Brendan. Sorry to interrupt. I just have to tell you, if you like the show, we do a bonus episode every week, plus tons of other content. Go to patreon.com/shitbrainshow. All right, back to the action.
We're happy to have you with us tonight and hope you'll come back often.
Just standing there fucking ripping key bumps. Delta emails me and they're like, we don't know when we're coming back. And I'm like, fuck. And then the next morning we drove. And remember I had to like, I did try to bribe that fucking Jamaican Spirit Airlines woman.
Oh, to let you on the flight?
To get me to Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read this article about this woman and her situation. She was a British citizen and her situation was complicated because she was going home from China after working in China for some time, but she decided to stop and vacation in some, I don't know exactly, some
island,
South
right?
Pacific island. Yeah. And her situation was complicated because she had came from China, not directly from England and then back.
Right.
And so she basically was stuck there
I think she's
still there. And it's hilarious because like all her friends are like, yeah, stuck in paradise. And she's like, no,
I can't work.
After like a week, it was hell.
Yeah.
Like I have no clothes. Like I have
place to stay.
I have to get a job on an island where there's 14 people working or living who all the 14 jobs are already taken. You know what I'm saying? There's no tourism.
Unemployment is massive, and I'm 100% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you immediately turn into like a second class citizen in that case. Like if we weren't able to get off.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking Irish. I'm gonna go broke on
those-
sunscreen in a week.
Yeah,
Or,
sure.
then I'm gonna
It's
just
expensive
shrivel
out
up.
there, man. Because everything is imported,
Right.
and then when things are locked down, it's even more expensive.
Do you remember
Yeah.
when I almost set up the boat comedy show
Yeah,
in front
he
of
was trying to
Epstein's
convince.
Island?
He was trying to convince this shady guy with like one eye.
Don't fucking say that. Juan was a good man.
to like sail a boat out to what's that place called? The
Little St. James.
Yeah. So Jimmie was trying to convince him to do that, and then we were gonna Instagram live a comedy show from in front of this prison island or whatever. That was his
Pedophile
idea.
Island.
Yeah. So, and I was like, he has one eye. This is not a good conversation to be having.
Also,
Didn't he get like shot or something?
He got stabbed in the eye.
Yeah, he's like I got stabbed in the eye. I was like, this is a guy I can
Jimmie's
trust.
over there like, can I put a finger in there? What's the deal?
yeah. I also like. You could. I don't get the added. I don't get what that adds to the comedy show that it's in front of Jeffrey Epstein's Island.
We almost got pepper sprayed. You remember that shit? We almost got pepper sprayed by our neighbors because on the last day we were leaving.
Oh yeah, they had the like
we had
adjoining doors.
We had all this booze, and so we knock on the door, and we're like, "Hey," and like they're like there like this, and it's
Yeah.
like, why would you open the door at all
Right.
if that was the concern? And we're like, no, well, they're just giving you this free booze. Here
Yeah,
you go.
or say like, who is it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't just open the door with a pepper spray ready.
I
to
don't
go.
remember too much of that trip, but I do think that
Yeah, Jimmie drank his body weight.
Yeah.
I was honestly very impressed because he bought so much liquor that I was like, "There's no way we're ever going to finish this." And he did.
I went to St. Thomas and I think St. John, and it was the only time in my life I was on a cruise.
Yeah.
Now I've been on a cruise once, and it's horrible.
Yeah,
first of
that
all.
sounds
It's
terrible.
horrible,
What? I
but-
love it.
Oh,
People
really?
keep confusing me for the crew, but I love it. it's true. One day I come back to the ship, and this guy that I've like was friends with him or whatever. I was hang out on the deck late at night and like we'd chat. He's like, he sees me coming back in. He's like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, how are you allowed to do that?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "How are you allowed to just leave the ship and like not, work?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't work here."
Yeah.
And little do you know, it's actually one of my smaller dreams to go work a cruise ship as a comedian.
no, it's not.
I
You
would
don't
just-
want to fucking do that. There's no way.
I think they do good merch sales, like and you got a bunch of captive Floridians.
You ever see those like old cruise ship guys that come back and like the sun has bleached their brains after
Oh, dude,
30 years?
I mean, here's the thing about doing cruise ships as a comic.
Pays
Have you done it?
What?
You
No.
know it?
But I'm open. I'm open to it, but here you have to be very careful because it can quickly become your entire career.
Yeah.
Because the pay is decent enough, is pretty good. And like once you're in and they like you, you're in, man. You
Right.
can kind of work as much as you want. And
Right.
so what happens is you get guys that just spontaneously disappear from the industry. And what happens is their acts never progress because it's easy as shit. They're a different audience every time.
Yeah.
Nobody's taping anything. So so that's why you get these like they come back when they're 62 and they're cruise ship hacks. Like I think it's a nice gig if you're careful. If you're like I'm gonna do 3-4
You got to
cruise
do
ships
the
a year.
Impractical Jokers cruise and nothing else.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm gonna do a couple a year. I'm gonna make sure I'm stay relevant, stay around. Like I wouldn't mind doing a couple, but it's also, dude, it's fucking hard to get in because like you need 2 hours. You need a clean hour, and then you need an hour.
It's 4:30 minutes, right?
What's it? Yeah,
It's 2 hours, but it's 4:30 minutes. Squeaky clean, extremely dirty. And
Yeah. Like depends on the cruise line, but for the most part, you need like 2 hours in some form, and at least like a half hour. Sometimes an hour has to be squeaky clean. So it's not
it's
easy
a
to
lot.
get in there. But like I've heard guys tell me like, dude, you just need to know someone who gets you in and then just crowd work this clean show the whole time. You know, I think it depends. But anyway, I go on a cruise and I think my mom wanted to go, right? We hadn't been on a vacation in years, and like my mom wanted to go. And cruises, depending on the time of year or whatever, they're surprisingly affordable. Like you can
It's $400 for a week,
and
of
it's
food
everything
and
included.
Everything.
Yeah, everything included. Like it's pretty crazy. I actually was looking at cruises recently, even though I hated the cruise. It's like it's a very affordable vacation option. Especially if you drink. I don't drink. If you drink, fucking go to town because included, man.
That's tight.
Well, so the one I went on, my 2 buddies came with me. We got a room with no window by steerage. Some shit.
Yeah.
If there was any water on board, we'd be the first to drown. We were that Leonardo DiCaprio level of the Titanic.
Yeah.
Most of the shit that we even saw in when you pass people's rooms was just it was very damp and dark down there. But they said the same thing. They're like, "Wow, this is so cheap. How could this be possible?" And I'm like, "Dude, you see those other Indian guys?
3,000 people on this boat.
They're all basically modern day, like trapped in some kind of indentured situation,
right?
Because they're making nothing to do this,
right?
And so at the end, I tipped them real well because partially part of this is they are my countrymen, right? Like I feel an affinity for them,
right?
And I'm also able to recognize that there's no human way that you could put a floating city, which is what it is. It's 1,000, 2,000 people on the water and feed them all for a week without somebody getting pinched.
Well, and it's also interesting because it's like, now that you say that, I'm trying to think, I don't even know what labor laws apply to a cruise line.
It's international
waters,
and it's
probably
flag bearing like a Dutch country or whatever.
And oftentimes they put them, I think, in they'll do Panama because of the taxes, I think, or they'll find it's probably subject to the labor laws of whatever country it's flagged under.
They love Van Halen,
which means 75 cents an hour is probably legal. You know what I mean? Like,
and the justification most people will say is, well, that's more than he would be making back home, but doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
Like if you know that it's more than what he makes, but it's still not a lot.
Right.
Would you pay what's $6 extra to the average American on a cruise?
Right. Exactly. Well,
per day.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so here's what happened to me on a cruise. First of all, I fingered a girl from Detroit.
Fuck yeah,
thanks.
dog.
Well, here's the thing. Then I didn't talk to her. Then she sat right behind me. Flight home. Flight home. She sat behind me with her mom. I was in my seat with my mom, so I couldn't go, hey, remember when I fingered you?
Hey, mom, you want to switch spots?
But anyway, my brother gets bloody noses,
Right.
And we were in steerage. I think my mom and my dad had like a nicer room. My sister was staying with them. I think in like a cot. I think they had like a window and like
a balcony.
Me and my brother were in fucking steerage. Which, dude, it's crazy. Steerage. It's like, and I'm claustrophobic about some stuff. This didn't actually bother me, but I could see someone going crazy. Like you're just in a thing with, and you're in the bottom of a boat with no windows, man.
You're like 100 feet below.
Yeah,
it's warm and it's rocking. It's
it's just
it
rocking.
was soothing. I never woke up with a hangover, but I don't know if that was because I was 23.
Yeah,
or,
right.
You know.
So me and my brother get drunk, right? And that's the other interesting thing about a cruise. Like I think I was 14, he was 15. Like they didn't give a fuck. No one gave a fuck.
Yeah.
Like my mom, I don't know, man. My mom's not this kind of mom, but she was giving us drinks.
Didn't care.
Yeah, like it was weird. I think, but anyway, we got hammered. I wake up, his bed is just covered in blood, and he's gone. And so I go, well.
He's dead.
I go, my brother's dead. This was around the time there was a lot of hinky shit going on cruise. Remember back like when people kept falling off cruise ships?
That was last year.
No, I think it's always.
They were killing themselves.
Yeah.
There's like they're just Disney, like a fucking guy in a Jafar costume just jumping over the edge.
So I go, my brother's dead, and I go, I gotta go alert, someone.
Right.
Let me hit up this breakfast buffet first, and then. So I find a guy and I go, can you make an announcement on the ship's intercom? Because there's blood, and he was like, I don't know why I thought I was the one who should be determining what actions are taken.
Right.
And he goes, we don't make announcements for that, man. We got to look into this. So I go, okay, I don't know. I just thought maybe an announcement,
Just tell everyone.
Yeah, I go, if he dies, this is on you, fucko. You know what I mean? You're the guy.
Blink Fitness.
Turns out he had gotten a bloody nose, then went to breakfast with my parents, so it was fine.
That was fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. This is what Raj. This is what Shit Brains is all about. Here's the thing. I come in here lower than low. I say, I want to cancel this goddamn episode.
Nope.
What do I feel? Still depressed, but better. Spent some times with my friends. Had some interesting discussions, and it's like did work, came in here and did work. This is our work. We're comedians.
Sure.
It may not be
something.
immediately paying us, but this is our fucking work. Now let me ask you something, because this is a question I have no idea how to nail down. Where the fuck do you live?
I'm all over the place.
Yeah, why don't you have a home?
I don't know. Well, I always had a trajectory, right? So I was in Cleveland, then I went to New York. Right. COVID threw me for a loop, so then it was Atlanta for a little bit. Yeah. Then it was Arkansas, and now I like flip between Arkansas. This last week, so I've been in 2 different cities in Tennessee, Arkansas, Cleveland. Now I'll go to Augusta Saturday, then I'll go back to Arkansas Sunday. And
now is that
and Texas? I forgot about that.
So do you have an apartment in Arkansas?
I have a home there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. And
How far is that from Casper, Wyoming?
Far.
Very far.
Is it really far?
I don't know America very well, but Wyoming is so far that I've never tried to drive.
I'm thinking about taking a pilgrimage to Casper.
For what do you mean a pilgrimage? What happened in Casper?
I'm fucking King Cobra, baby.
Oh yeah, hold on, pull up.
Yes, I have to show you.
Yeah, we
this.
got it. Jimmy's got a guy named King Cobra. He's obsessed with on YouTube. Let's pull it up, Jeremy.
You got it. Fellas.
What's the fella's name?
Joshua Faye Saunders.
No, but what's his
Gothic King Cobra
Gothic
JFS?
Yeah, full screen this bad boy too. I got to see this,
dude. Be careful with this, Brendan, because you might get sucked into the Cobra Verse, dog.
I'd love to get into the Cobra Verse.
All right, are we ready to be experienced?
This is the I Ride Bike clip compilation. Look at him.
So he's got a green helmet. He's got a.
How do you stay so lean? Well, I walk everywhere. I ride bike in the summer. I ride bike whenever the weather's permittable and I'm in the mood.
Permittable.
I have a high metabolism.
I ride bike.
I walk everywhere. I ride bike.
He's also keeps saying, "How do you stay lean?" He's not lean.
I ride bike and walk everywhere I go because I don't have a car.
So
I'm always
got
getting some sort of exercise.
Hold on, pause it right here. Pause it for a second.
Look at those eyes.
When I was a kid, you could ride bike and...
Pause it here. Pause it here. So this is a compilation of him saying you could ride bike.
Yes.
Did someone else make this to make fun of him?
Yes.
Or is this his own?
There are people that... There's several people. Shout out Bite Size Cobra. Shout out Seizure Robot 5000. Shout out Boglum Chronicles. There's people who go and religiously watch and clip his shit because he'll make like 4-hour streams where he just like gets blackout drunk and eats like a $50 Domino's pizza.
So is he a streamer? He's like a Twitch guy?
Facebook and YouTube. What's up, which he calls tubes.
Okay, get a little more play on this. And
I'll add the link into the description.
He does like cooking videos and shit where he just
so
makes,
let
like,
me just
slop
say
piles.
he looks like what a goth guy would look like. So where does he live? Casper,
Wyoming.
He looks like what a goth guy would look like with like whatever limited goth stuff they could buy in Casper, Wyoming.
It's almost like
what
a
I mean?
Western meets goth type
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
He's
it's
a
like,
sexy goth bad boy. That's what he calls himself.
All right, go ahead.
Nobody would say shit about it, you know? There was
Teeth are rotting out.
ifs, ands, or buts except watch for traffic and
What?
wear a helmet. I don't have a car. I pretty much walk or ride bike everywhere around.
It's like Dwight Schrute meets Tiger King.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
exactly.
go.
Something very Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
about him.
No, he's the most.
Ladies, what's up?
Yes.
Like
Sean, the
I said,
ventriloquist dummy.
What
I
the
walk
fuck is
everywhere
that?
I go. I
those
ride
are-
bike.
Those are all in the back.
It's
Those are all of his
terrifying.
staffs and wands that he makes.
You know, there's been times, YouTube.
I love this guy.
Okay.
Okay.
There's been times that my neighbors have had very loud sex. And it's like, I don't want to fucking hear that nasty shit. But did I complain to my landlord about it? No, of course not. No! I'll eat like one meal a day to conserve food and to help manage my weight.
Fucking fish eyes.
On top of that, I walk and ride bike
I'm going to get into the Cobra Verse. That's good for now. Here's the thing.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
I
that
just
guy's
had to
great.
share that
We
with
had
the
to see
shit
that.
brains.
I would say I'm going to be at the Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls on New Year's Eve. There's 2 shows, 7 and 10:30. That's near Akron. Come on, it's going to be a blast. Those tickets are probably going to sell out, so I would get them. Raj, where can the people follow you or find you? Any plug? Plug anything. We don't give a
It's just
fuck.
all at Raj Does Comedy on every social media platform.
That's
so
the best. It's
pretty much
fucked
it.
up when you like. because I have.
You have to have different ones on each one.
Yeah, that's.
Are there a lot of Brendan Ayers out there?
There's one, a Canadian musician who I hate, but actually, he's a nice guy. He follows some of my stuff. His music's. I've surpassed him. My initial comedy goal was to surpass him on Google. Okay. You know what I mean? And I'm there now. So now I shouldn't punch down.
If you type my name in on Google, you'll get pictures of a guy that look exactly like me, but is not me. And his name is also Suresh. His name is Suresh Raj. I'm Raj Suresh. And he's like some vice president at Ogilvy and Mather. Like he's a high up marketing guy. And so I can never beat him on search results.
Jimmie's got the fucking guy in the
Hall
NFL
of Fame
tight end. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what my goal is is to be able, like, if at any point in my life I will be able to quit doing anything, if I one day hit the point to where if you Google search, it'll say nude next to it and somebody deep fakes me, that'd be tight.
You think that will somehow allow you to quit something?
Yeah. I'll quit everything.
Well, boss at the beer truck company, this will be my last day.
Don't you sell hot sauce too?
I do. Yeah, I just started a little condiment company. I guess it's very weird, but I've been growing my own food for the last year. Basically, I moved to Arkansas, bought a house, dug out a little patch of grass, and I've been growing peppers and tomatoes and shit. And I've started making sauce amongst other things. So there's like hot sauce. There's a little pasta sauce. I haven't come up with a name yet. The hot sauce is called Chunky Hulk.
Yeah,
it's bright green.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's jalapeno, cilantro, and lime.
Oh, I love that. That sounds great,
bad, man. Yeah. So
where can the people buy that?
Just ping me on Instagram. Because I'm still it's very small scale.
Yeah, of course.
You know, small batch.
Well, it takes a while,
but I can ship it across the U.S.
My buddy Plarat, similar thing is garden. He grows a tremendous variety of peppers. He dries and makes like crushed pepper flakes. So like
I've been a hot sauce head like my whole life, so it was amazing. Like the quality, the taste that you get out of produce that you've grown yourself is 10 times better than anything that you'll find at a store.
Yeah, I one time I ate. I was on this YouTube show, and I ate search tasted scorpion peppers. Up. Bring it up. I want to see. Why? What? You can't see it on that page?
He's probably pulled it across to his monitor or something.
Well,
this was years ago.
Yeah,
these things were too hot, man.
Really?
I
have never had a pepper that was too hot for
scorpion peppers.
Really?
At the time,
you should enter a contest
because
money.
They change. Oh, like because these guys breed them. No. Tasted now. Videos.
Do you have any more of that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Down one. The one with my fucking face on it, man.
Oh.
Yeah. Now.
Old school.
Stream 85 plus.
This ad will end in 5 seconds. Don't worry. So, at the time, they were the hottest pepper in the world. That's since been surpassed. Because guys breed these peppers.
Yeah. And they get hotter every year.
Yeah, so at the time, there's different. A different one is the hottest every year because they're breeding these for heat. Go to and this. I've done a lot of stuff. I think I'm coming at, just go to where you see me come in. I think I come in at 7 minutes or so. Keep going. You start there.
Who is this for?
Some years ago, I was some YouTube channel in LA. Go up a little further. So, dude, this was the worst thing I've ever done for comedy.
Really?
Are these all comedians?
There it is.
No, these are the ladies. These are the people that work for the channel. It's like a food channel where you eat weird stuff.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm
No,
Brendan
go back,
from
because we'll see how they introduce me. Go back, right there. Start it up.
I want to win.
That's a record. You ate 3 of the hottest peppers in the world.
She didn't. That was a lie.
Ow.
But this lunatic is about to eat 4.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brendan
Hell yeah.
from the Knock, and I asked them.
Oh, clean-shaven Brendan.
Look at that. Just a fat piece of shit.
And it's stupid, and it's going to be a problem.
This was so bad.
Did you really go for? Oh, fuck.
And they're dried, so they're not as hot as fresh. But, dude, the actual mouth heat and the throat heat, it was pretty brutal for an hour.
Did it hurt down there, right?
Yeah, it was the stomach that kills you. For 24 hours, and I had to take a red eye home.
I put the first one in. I was
Fuck
like, oh,
that.
this is fine. I'm the champion of this.
And
I start crying, dude. It just gets
That
worse
doesn't
and
even
worse.
sound like you.
I know, it's so hot, dude. It's crazy.
What are they giving you there?
Yogurt. I'm gurgling yogurt.
the worst thing of my life.
Oh shit! Is like your tongue swelling up?
Everything, my throat's swelling up.
Fuck.
But this was nothing compared to off camera. Like Raj was saying, it's the stomach that fucks you up.
So bad.
Yeah, that stuff.
You can see it like it's like setting in on you right now, right there.
Because it's just attacking your stomach.
Yeah.
A lot of anger.
I was like Googling, like
You need fat.
Yeah, I was
Casing.
literally Googling, like, do I need to go to the hospital?
This is 10
'Cause it
years
felt like
ago.
knives in my. Yeah, this is a long time.
Holy
ago.
shit!
I don't know why. Yeah, I just ate 4 peppers. Yeah, it was a huge mistake.
And it was so
Are you the
funny.
one who ate
Pause
3?
it now. So I go, like, who ate the most? And they said this girl ate 3, which was a lie. It turned out she didn't.
She ate 1.
She ate 1.
She did that. They did that to fuck with you.
No, it wasn't
LA,
real.
man.
It was like fake.
Oh, they just
faked
edited it.
So I go, well, fuck this. Like, I'm going to be the star.
You
I'll
actually ate 4.
I go, I'll eat 4. Then the comments, I think they're probably different now, but the comments on the video, so I'm like, I'm going to be the star of this thing. The comments on the video are all just like, that girl who ate 3 is hot. Like, not a single person
Just
mentioned
care
me.
about
100% how
gave a
Hollywood
shit.
works.
Yeah. All right, man. What a blast. Mackenzie's hair is glorious.
What the fuck?
I'm in love with Mackenzie. She's the best. Dear Mackenzie, no one... It's fuck you.
Fuck Mackenzie.
Dude,
Fuck you.
have you ever seen that video of DJ Khaled talking to women?
No.
Can I play one? Is that fine?
Yeah, who
Can you
cares?
search for DJ Khaled talks to women?
We're giving you guys some extra content.
Yeah,
also,
sorry.
follow me on Instagram at InstaJimmieGram. I got some shows coming up, so come and fucking support, motherfucker, and join the Patreon.
While he's doing that, you two should both know. I mean, I told Jimmy this all the time. You and I haven't had a ton of chances to talk, but you guys are like like Cleveland has a great comedy scene, and I think in terms of voices that are super unique, and you can absolutely see like miles and miles better than most comedians I've personally watched. I think Jimmy and you are right up there.
Oh, hey, thanks.
I remember
Thanks,
watching
buddy.
your set at Hilarities and being like, man, that's tight. Because I saw Norman, like, I don't know if it was like a couple weeks before that or whenever I saw him, and I was like, that was tight. And then I saw you, and I was like, that's pretty tight writing too. And then the same thing with Jimmy. I've seen Jimmy so much over.
Can you imagine
Last 3 years.
only like 13 people listen to this fucking shit?
Idiots.
Well, that's the testimonial. That's hopefully.
Thank you, Raj. Raj is a very funny comedian as well.
We gotta watch a KFC ad before this.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled is I want to be this guy. So skip about halfway.
I tell you, come over here. Come over.
He'll be in front of like a house at some point.
Know that.
There it
Oh,
is.
I see,
Yeah.
Baby, you smart. You very smart.
These guys are the
Matter of
best.
fact, you a genius. See, you let me hustle. You
I
let
love
me
that
do
he
what I
points
do
at
in
her
the street.
like he's
Yeah.
doing like
I'm gonna
gun
show you
signs.
something you ain't never seen before. Keep riding. You
Is
smart.
this, like, what is this?
Come with me, baby. It's ride.
It's the start to a video.
Is it?
And then this
It's
is
like
his-
some like
Say
Kanye
my
shit.
name, baby.
DJ Khaled.
Say my name, baby.
DJ Khaled.
You smart. You loyal. You great.
This is my favorite part
I
right here.
appreciate that. Go buy your mama a house. Go buy your whole family houses. Put this money in your savings account. Go spend some money for no reason.
Invest this into
Come back and ask
cryptocurrency.
Have you heard of acorns?
Dude, he said go buy your whole family houses and gave her a grand total of like maybe $200,000.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
That's right, baby. You remember that.
This is creepy.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That
That's
rules.
really funny. All right.
It's power money.
Shit on.
Shit
brains.
on, shit brains. Thank you, Raj.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Thank you. This was
Anytime,
great.
man.
Goodbye,
Later.
shitiverse.
Fuck you.
Hey guys, it's Brendan. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Shit Brains. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you review it, you rate it, all of that stuff really helps the algorithm. Throw us a follow at Shitbrains Show on Instagram and Twitter, Shitbrains Show on YouTube. You can email us your questions at shitbrainshow@gmail.com. We even have, for you hardcore fans, a Facebook group where you can go and you can chat and meet up with other fans. That's Shit Brains Show on Facebook. So, and then of course, if you really like it and you want some bonus content, we're coming out with a bonus episode every single week, plus a lot of other bonus content. You're going to want to get on there and check it out. Go to patreon.com/shitbrainshow. Later, Shitbrains.